Hello everybody, it is Emery48 here and welcome back to another Marvel Monday. Today we are diving back into the world of the Fantastic Four. I've watched the originals and I've watched the new one. So today's video is on the one in the middle, Fant4stic, which is just kind of strange. I have a lot of problems with reboots of franchises that are going to rewrite the origin. Like, that was one thing that I really enjoyed about Fantastic Four, the one that came out this year, is that they were just like, yeah, you know how they got the powers. Like, let's move on, let's do another story, let's actually make a movie here, and we don't have to recreate these characters from scratch. That was cool. In my head, we had the origin, right? They went up to the moon, they got hit by the solar flare or whatever it was, came back down, have their powers. The second movie comes out, they already have the powers, you move on, and you try and solve a problem. Then we reboot, and we want to rewrite how they get their powers. But it takes like an hour and a half, or an hour 20 to get their dang powers. And they're never really a team in this movie. They're a team for maybe like 6 minutes. And we only get Doctor Doom for about 15. Like, the villain's in the movie for 15 minutes. That's insane to me. There's one fight with the villain who's supposed to be more powerful than them. And they kind of barely work together. And, like, he traps Ben in rocks. And he needs help. But then once Reed gives his speech that they can be better, he just breaks out of the rocks on his own. Like, what? The same thing with Johnny Flames. Johnny Blaze, whatever. No, Johnny Blaze is Ghost Rider. That's really contradicting. Okay, whatever. Johnny Storm. He's, like, also trapped in rocks. And then flames himself out. On his own. Neither of those things they needed Reed to say anything for. They could have just done that on their own. Also, Sue doesn't even go with them. That's kind of strange. I feel like you don't... Like, the plot points were just strange. Like, Victor shows some disappointment that Reed and Sue are getting along. But they show no discussion, really, of them having had a past or him wanting a future. Like, in the other one, I think they were married or something like that, or he proposed to her. Like, this one, he's just kind of been gone and not in her life. So that's not his motivation. His motive is to protect that planet that gave him his powers. By destroying Earth, I guess. Because, I mean, seems a little excessive. But I guess that's a Doctor Doom thing. He just seemed weird. Like, the only thing he could really do is throw rocks around and, like, collapse people's skulls. But he didn't really do that much. You know, when people were actually fighting back, he stopped doing the things that were dangerous to people. He just threw rocks at them. The people that weren't fighting back, he collapsed buildings on and crushed their skulls in with his mind. It just wasn't that good. And that's disappointing to say, although I'm not surprised, because Fant4stic's been one of those things that is a watch when you get to it, not rush to watch it kind of things. And it just, I can see why this one did not get a sequel. It's weird because the cast is really dang good. But the writing's not. I still think Johnny Storm is the best out of them. I mean, he gets the coolest power. He flies with fire and can throw fire. it was interesting to see that they were trained by the military. And without military training, Reed Richards was still able to fight the military. That one to me is a little strange. He's been by himself, like evading people. So really not, in my head, training against armed militants. But that's a thing. Sue Storm was able to do so much more with her powers in this one than I ever understood her to be able to do. The little bubble thing made it feel like she was a witch in the Wizard of Oz, kind of floating in to see the Munchkins. So that was strange. Didn't really like that. I felt like that was a really lazy way to get them to keep up with Johnny through the flying and stuff. So I didn't particularly like it, but it was cool to see that that's something she can apparently do. She's probably the coolest version of Sue. Reed was pretty lame in this one. He was stretchy, and it was weird because at times he couldn't unstretch for kind of no reason. And then at other times he was a perfect karate master with his stretching. So that's strange. Ben, it was Ben. He hit stuff hard because he rocked. That's all I got. They weren't called the Fantastic Four until the very end when Ben just said it's fantastic. And they're in some random building in the middle of nowhere, not anything to do with the Baxter building, which Ben, in the very beginning of the movie, basically said that this looked like it would be his home, Reed's home. And they didn't just go live there in the Baxter building. I don't know why they ended up in a building that isn't where they end up in the other two movie franchises. Maybe it's something else from the comics that I don't know about. But that was odd to me. I thought they'd end up in the Baxter building. If you have any contradicting thoughts or things I've missed from Fant4stic, please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.